capable professionals that have passed secure, hands-on exams and have proven that they're ready to work on Red Hat technologies. Red Hat certified professionals are
वेटिंग आ रहा
skilled,
है.
proven, and ready. Let's get started.
इसके बाद जय ढंग से
Recruiting and managing technical talent is challenging. How do employers find and hire IT professionals with this?
पीछे वाले को बोल.
Thanks everybody for
यूट्यूब
being
पे
so
चेक करने के बाद
patient.
वापस.
I agree, everybody of you all have your exams. You've traveled from various cities like Jodhpur, Alwar,
अरे नहीं
Ajmer, and
डांस
everybody.
मार देंगे
Just
मेरा.
few more minutes because we have Amal.
देख
I want him to be here for longer
लाइव
time
बना
because
देंगे लाइव.
he is the one who can actually take you through the entire
अरे
journey of technologies, make you aware
क्या
about various other things which are needed in
भाई
the
दूसरा
industry
है भी
today.
नया
Please
दूसरा
be
नया
patient
वाला
for
ही
some more
नया वाला.
time and then we do the
रिफ्रेश
networking
कर.
immediately. Amal, can I have you on stage, please?
रिफ्रेश
Thank you.
कर.
Sorry to keep you waiting this long.
लाइव लाइव आना चाहिए कभी.
देखा था क्या
हाँ
स्क्रीन
दिखा दो.
चल रहा है.
You know what, when Ramesh has asked you to think of a question in 50 seconds,
हाँ
देखा
हाँ
you have to
तो
check with them when it's not.
हाँ वो तो
You guys will do that. You would have got a goodie, you would have got lunch on time. I hate two subjects in engineering, software engineering and operating system.
I love operating system.
The reason, software engineering used to be the subject which was taught
दिखा ना
right before my lunch.
दिख रहा है.
Operating system was the subject which was taught right after lunch. I really understand what is that you guys are going through right now. It is absolutely not good to stay hungry and listen to somebody. And this is why most of the times you hate your college lecture. Because they just keep you sit and listen to something which is of no interest to you. Software engineering is something which I still don't understand. 15 years in the industry, I just know about two things from software engineering. One is a waterfall model, which you draw like that. The other one is a spiral model, which you draw like that. In 15 years in the industry, I've never realized and I've never found where is this damn thing being applied. I've written some C programs and I've never seen a spiral model being applied on a C program which I've written, which means I'm not a great programmer. I don't do programming. What is that I do? Well, I just about do nothing in fact. I go talk to people like you guys. We have a generation gap, and the only reason why I'm here and keep talking to go to universities and talk to people is because I want to see that I'm still not that old. That's like a younger version, 10 years ago. See, gentlemen and ladies, one of the most boring things which we have in your life is technology. Okay? I know Bimal would have given you a different impression about technology. But let me also tell you, the reason why you love technology is because you need to have the right passion. You need to have the right interest. You need to have a purpose. You know, that is what precisely Bimal is doing. So you've seen this, you've seen the Tata Sky advertisement which is running these days. What is that all about? You pinch yourself to see it's for real. Is that the theme? Something like that. I don't know if it's Tata Sky or I don't watch the TV, but then I've noticed it. So this is precisely what I have been doing. You know, when I was just walking around in the room. I actually am still trying to realize what exactly has been happening in this room right from on. Okay? I see a dad, a mom, a mentor, a scholar, a researcher in one single body. I see so much of glow on his face when he's actually standing right there in that illuminated chart. I see a lot of people talking about, you know, yeah, he also mentioned it's not right to describe myself as God, but then I've seen to that extent that people actually describe him as God. You know what? You guys are actually in the right place. I have no doubt about it. let's leave technology aside. See, technology is secondary. The first thing which you need is, after all, why this technology? After all, why should I do this? I think Vimal is working on that part of you. Rest of the things can happen automatically. Okay, so be it artificial intelligence, be it automation using Ansible, be it something else, you just don't care. Do you really understand why I'm still not interested in spiral model? Because there was nobody who could actually inspire me in finding out what exactly is the reason behind spiral model. So for me, spiral model and waterfall models were page number 67 and page number 72 on the software engineering textbook, which was given in my engineering course. That's all. And I still have no clue. And then, okay, now you have another diagram to draw right now if you're sitting in an engineering college. Along with the waterfall and the spiral, you have something like this now. What the heck is that? Agile? Or DevOps, or whatever you call it. See, Ramesh has told one thing, precisely what you should be actually looking at. Get the basics right? Now, to get the basics right, I still do not believe, even though I preach about the problems of the education system which we have in our country today, I still strongly believe that the education system which we have today has still got benefits. So please do not ignore what you get in your classrooms. It's just that you do not love those subjects because you do not have somebody like, or you do not have something like a practical oriented approach to it. And I'm repeating this again. I still have no idea what the heck is spiral model. Right? How many of you know about spiral model? No one? Oh yeah. I'm not as smart as Ramesh. I didn't announce any goodies for that. Yeah, that's why he's successful in the industry. See, he told me that job goes to him. He doesn't go after a job. Yeah. Anybody? Spiral model? No one? No, you still are not going to get the goodie. Okay, that man in the jacket. Yep. Ashutosh? Yeah. Combination of waterfall and implemental model, incremental model, okay? And what benefit do you have in spiral model?
So basically, in this, there have cycle. According to that cycle, we move and make any project or any software.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Please be seated. No goodies. Now, hold on. See, Ramesh at least knew that that was a wrong answer, that's the right answer. I really do not know if that is a wrong or right answer because I really do not know what spiral model is. Just like, oh, you know what? I have seen vocalists in the room. I have seen guitarists in the room. I've seen dancers. I've seen performers. I've seen a baker who has clearly defined what is the difference between a cookie and a biscuit. And still, Ramesh, no, that's not fair. He didn't take that answer. That's because just like I do not know spiral model, he does not know what is the difference between a cookie and
सब एक से बढ़ के देखेगा
it's so tough to engage a bunch of
देख
students
तो रेडिट में
who
गया ना
are
तो
especially
ऐसे ही बन
engineering
जाएगा
students to sit and patiently listen to somebody when you have actually the flavor of lunch escaping through the door gaps into the room. So I will not take it long. There are a few things which you need to keep in mind. Okay, one, you need to understand why is that you are learning that subject. Okay, it should. I wish you should not be learning a subject just like I did operating systems or software engineering. Okay, you need to understand what exactly goes underneath it, what exactly goes behind it, what is the reason, what is the purpose. I really understand that waterfall and spiral model are still relevant when you get into a software project because some of your managers might say, hey, we are at a spiral model, and if you do not understand what a spiral model is, you would not be able to compare what is the benefit that you're going to get when you transform this into an agile software development method. So anything which you learn is not going to be a waste. Be motivated, find a purpose behind what is that you're learning. And one of the best ways, okay, I do this all the time, right?
White dress.
Whenever I go to universities and colleges and I talk to engineering students, I love engineering
भाई
students.
देखना एक
Why?
बार
Because
YouTube live.
they have a basic discipline. Anybody who's not from an engineering college here? I'm sorry, do I see a shoot coming my way? Like somebody who's doing an arts and science or something, but then still learning computer science in this room? No offense. Now, the thing is, you have the basic discipline, you have the foundational knowledge, you have gone through a lot of textbooks.
Hello?
It's just that that interest has to be cultivated, that you need to understand, somebody who is, Shreya was talking about, like, Vimal is told, do you want to know how a packet is actually transferred in the wire? See, I ask you something. Do you know the TCP IP? Right?
ऐसे करने के.
Yeah. You know those 7 layers, the OSI reference layer?
Yes, sir.
Now, you know all this. But then how the heck can you translate that damn diagram into how a packet is actually getting transferred in a wire? See, this is where the spark is. You just need somebody like a mentor or a scholar or a researcher, whatever you call it. You just need somebody who can actually ignite that little spark. That's all you need. Rest is up to you. Once you're on a runway, that's it. You will take off. Find some interest in what you're doing. Get to the basics and foundations of it. I don't have anything else to add from whatever has been spoken on this platform. Well, so many things have happened here. And the least interesting part is the technology part, and that's why I'm not even talking about technology. I've seen awards, I've seen performances, I've seen musical performances, dance performances, I've seen somebody talking about the future vision of country, I've seen somebody talking about, I would have waited for the second chance, Ramesh. Maybe after Deepika, Priyanka Chopra? The goddess in version 2 is also smart, huh? Yeah, so, she would have kept something still better. But you wanted to take Deepika Padukone. You're from Bangalore, that's why. So, see, the idea is very, very simple. Okay? I ask you, what is HTTP? Can you tell me what is HTTP?
It's a protocol.
Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Okay. TCP.
It's a protocol.
You know what? HTTP expands to Hypertext Transfer Protocol is known by a medical doctor, a lawyer, a clerk, a bank officer. How the heck are you different from them? You carry a stamp on your back saying that you are a bachelor in engineering on what? On computer science or on information technology. And still, if you are expanding HTTP to Hypertext Transfer Protocol, you're no better than anybody else. See, that is where the difference is, right? We are not spending 4 years of our life in an engineering college or the summers and the winters in here, not to just expand the abbreviations. I'm sure you would know much better than it. HTTP is just Hypertext Transfer Protocol. But then still, what difference does it make when somebody on the other side of the interview table is asking you what is HTTP and you say that Hypertext Transfer Protocol, sir, and period. That's it. That's all I have. Versus if you actually explain them what HTTP is. Or how about when you say that HTTP is a protocol just like any other protocol, which is understood by any form of server and client software which is involved in the communication. And of course, you have something like an Apache web server which is acting as the server in that case. And you have a client which is requesting using this protocol which is understood by the web server. The client normally would be, in most of the cases, a browser. And the request which is actually hitting the server on port number 80 most of the times is interpreted by the server, and you have a document root, and from there it takes the index.html and serves it back through the pipe and makes it appear and give a response back to the client, And this is what I understand HTTP is. And going a step further, you say that if you could actually give me a system which is connected to a Yum repository, I could install an Apache web server, set up a basic web server which is listening on port number 80, and I can ask you to take your mobile phone, connect to the IP address using the Wi-Fi, and get how my web server is configured. What answer makes a difference here? The first answer of HTTP is hypertext transfer protocol, that's all, versus what I have given you as the second version. Which one do you think is the better?
Second version.
Do you know what precisely you're doing in LinuxWorld now? You are not, if somebody asks you HTTP, you are not talking, when somebody asks you a question from a very normal engineering college background, when somebody asks you a question when you step into an interview room, you know what is the first picture which comes to your mind? It's the print quality of the book which you have read on that subject. The font size, the page number. When somebody asks you a question, I still have that as a nightmare. Andrew S. Tenenbaum had a green cover book. I still remember that. Why? Because that book was my source of whatever questions which was probably going to be asked in an interview. That shouldn't be the case. When you have done something using your fingers, you have executed a few command strokes, and you have seen it working, you have seen it not working and fixed it better, then you will understand what exactly is there behind that technology. See, if somebody asks you, like you guys are Ansible certified, very, very glad to see so many people, I don't think I will ever get to see one single group, such big group of Ansible certified people in one booth. You know what? In fact, you guys should not be seated in one single room. You know that there is a protocol that the US president and the vice president, they do not travel in the same plane? Yes. If there is somebody who is bombing this auditorium, I'm going to lose a lot of Ansible engineers. Okay, you should always split into 10 and then walk and take different. See, you guys are an asset, right?
Uncle, you function আছে আমি একটু
You know what?
free হয়ে আসছি
Can you raise your right hand? Can you give a pat on your own back like this? Good job done. Very well deserved. Okay, it's not easy. It's not at all easy. It's very, very tough. Ansible certification, just for that matter, anywhere has certifications, are really difficult. Why is it difficult? Question number 1. What is this? A, B, C, D. Not even knowing what the question is, not even reading the first half a sentence of the first part of the question, you say the answer is A. Why? I know. Because I have read about this question. Question number 2. What is this? Without even completing that, you know that the answer is D. Question number 3. A little tough. You read it once, you read it twice. And then you don't know actually the answer because you don't recollect it from the dumps which you have read. And then you close your eyes, move the mouse, click, and then open your eyes and see, okay, it's C, let's try my luck with C. This is not happening in a certification exam which Red Hat has to offer to you. So whatever you know, you have actually written in the form of a playbook, you have run it, you have seen that change happening on the target. You should be proud of what you have done. Okay, and the journey never ends there, because Ansible is not end of the world. Okay, you know the infinite loop, right? So man, 2 o'clock it is. You know what? I started getting some smoke coming out of my tummy. I had a cookie / biscuit just a while ago, just to keep me alive. I've seen you guys not even having a drop of water. So I will cut it short. The idea is you need to love the technology, you need to know the technology. You need to get to the basics. You need to be inspired about the technology. Don't read something and then just reproduce it on a piece of paper. Of course, you would need it. I'm not here to blame the education system. But then, yes, in addition to that, you should also know how have you done this or what is the purpose behind it. Okay? Now, DevOps is the way to go. You have, there is no doubt that in the industry today, the best ever software development model which you have is DevOps. Now, automation is just one piece of the DevOps puzzle. Don't be under the impression that you know automation and then your end-to-end solution is met. No. Containerization, heard about it? What's the idea behind containerization? You get a goodie for this, by the way. Oh, I thought the photographer has got an answer. He just stood up and was like, wow, it's like everywhere, containerization. What do you think containerization is? I've seen somebody raising their hand. I've seen 3 people. Yeah. Can I have the mic for this gentleman in the t-shirt? Oh, the mic is coming. I'm flying. Yeah. Using same resources. That's okay. You can speak to me louder. I think you're left with no energy. But then yeah. I can buy you biryani. Yeah, all right, yeah. You get a biryani, that's all, yeah.
बिरयानी के लिए कुछ भी
अरे यार कह के ले ली
Okay. If I actually use the same strategy as Ramesh has used, you're partially correct. I didn't get the answer which I actually wanted, but it's still get it because he's hungry. Wow, I don't have this jacket with me. Good job. All right, so he has rightly pointed out the difference between virtualization and containerization because you don't actually have the full-fledged operating system which is spin up from a hypervisor to run your operating system in the software, right? So you use the basic operating system, you use a lot of functionalities in the basic operating system, plus you have only the set of libraries and the application environment which is contained in an environment, and that is why we call it containerized, right? You put these things inside a container, you close it, and then you replicate these containers at a very high scale. So that whenever an application needs some quick scale up, you don't have to install operating system, you don't have to bring up a VM. VM is very, very heavy. You know what? 5 years ago, VM was light, a full-fledged operating system was heavy. Today, VM is heavy, container light. People go for containerization because it is light, it is fast, it can very easily scale up, very easily scale down. Whenever I speak technology, the crowd really goes low and down. Except for that kid. That's just because that kid really doesn't get it down. Is it virtualization? Is it containerization? She just needs her chocolate
you
right
don't
now.
give a fuck
And her mom is taking care of her, I'm sure. So the thing is, technology has to generate some kind of interest in you, right? So somebody like a data
एक बार
scientist,
देखने आ रहा है क्या
who is there sitting in front row, somebody who is like working for SAP Labs, he's like automation everywhere, automation anywhere.
Anywhere.
See, Dan, like, what is that? Automation anywhere, you know? Like, your possibilities are limitless. Okay, it's just that you have the right. You even if you gain multiple skills, there is no problem. You will not be using all those skills right away when you get into a job, but you could still use it. Any technology which you learn does not go waste. Do you still learn C programming, by the way?
Yes, sir.
Do you know that C programming is one of the most important programming languages
Yes,
in the
sir.
world which we live in?
Yes, sir.
The kernel of the operating system which you use in your mobile phone today, or the kernel of the operating system which is just 3 or 4 MB, which is actually running a physical hardware, which is a Linux kernel, is just nothing but 4 million lines of C code. But if you do not know C programming, please do not put that on your resume. The biggest ever C programming which I have written is 67 lines. And that's all. The purpose of that program was it gives in yellow color as enter the first number. I enter, then in red color it shows enter the second number. It says, hooray, the addition of this 1 and 2 is this. That's the program. And that's the end of my programming language life. I never survived after that. Why? I didn't have enough material to do regular programming that way. If I had a Vimal Daga at that point in time, I would have actually done a startup and then I wouldn't be working for, I wouldn't be talking to you, I would be like, running my own company. I would be flying my own airplane, just like Larry Ellison is doing. You have an opportunity, ride the opportunity, gain the interest, get motivated when people talk to you, when people like Vimal Daga talk to you. Pick up the right technology, pick up a few of them, use... Oh, that's an indication that my time is up. Thank you for that. You get a goodie for reminding me that. So develop that passion and then ride the wave. Feel motivated about technology. Job, you will get a job. Which field today does not use computer science? You book a cab, you do a bank transaction, you check for weather, you check the status of a train running, you check your flight status. Okay. Even if you want to know what is the humidity in the temperature in the atmosphere today, what is the temperature today? Everything uses, okay. Internet of Things? Yeah? Yeah. I actually didn't say IoT because when I asked you, do you know what IoT is? I know the first response because we are trained to expand abbreviations and you would say, yes, I know IoT. And I ask, what is it? You have a goodie and then somebody stands up and says, Internet of Things, and that's it. And I don't want somebody to expand abbreviations because you are engineers. You know what? Whenever I go and talk to people, especially students in universities, I address a crowd of 20, 30, 50, 100, 300, 500. There is only one person who is absolutely fascinated, motivated about what I am talking. That is me. Nobody else gives a damn. Oh yeah, containerization? Nice. Virtualization? Okay. Cloud? I know from standard 6 physics book, I know what is cloud. And you'll even give the definition. Right? So the thing is, be in the right place, ride the right way, be in love with technology, you will find your destiny. If you have any questions related to technology, you could actually ask me later in the networking or whatever. Was that networking? There is a networking, yeah. But then I'm just assuming it's after lunch, right? Oh. So if the goddess of hunger comes to me and gives me the first option, even if it is some slight snack or a cookie, I would say, give it to me, goddess. I'm like dying. So I'm done with whatever I had to talk to you. Anything related to technology, we will do that after lunch. Lunch is primary, okay? Another tip, just for not being honest and all that, another tip, never stay hungry when you're in IT industry, all right? Eat. Keep eating. Cut short your meal quantity. Eat 5 times a day rather than eating 1 time a day. Okay? I know you will end up eating only 1 time a day. But then I'm just trying to tell you, 5 years, 6 years, 10 years you survive in the industry and then you will have no survival because you are not in the industry if you are eating only 1 time a day. Eat 5 times a day. Drink a lot of water. People giving extreme story. Oh yeah. Drink a lot of water, plus a little Budweiser. Budweiser can really help in solving the bug. You know that? You don't know that? Vimal hasn't told you that. Okay, now, he is a mentor in all sense. He really doesn't talk about Budweiser in his classes. All right. Yeah, he likes India. So at least Kingfisher. Now,
Kingfisher की तरह Budweiser
I am
पगला
not
गया क्या?
example for the right, as a right role model in the industry, and I just somehow scraped through. One common thing between Vimal and me, we both did go to IIT, but rest everything is different. I don't talk nicely, I don't guide you nice and all that. But then still, you know, you should be lucky to have him here. I find a family here. You know, when somebody is on the stage talking about, I have somebody like Vimal sir. I also hear somebody like a Mona ma'am who has actually got me in, and somebody like a Preeti ma'am who's like showing a bad face. She says there is a little bit of pressure on me also, and that pressure point is like creepy, right? So I find a proper blend of technology, mentorship, family, friendship, everything in this place. I wish you guys the best, and nothing else. Have lunch. Thank you.
Thanks, Anil. So kind of you. But yes, we don't break for lunch because there are many students who have their buses and trains lined up because they have to go back to their cities. They have their exams tomorrow. And so we go ahead. We have a quick, small presentation by our students. They are representing my LinuxWorld students. So can I have my first project presentation out here? There's quick two presentations for 5 minutes, and then we break for networking, and then we proceed ahead with other things. So can I quickly have on stage Rudra Pratap, Varshit, Gargi, and Akash. They're from varied colleges. Rudra is from Haldia, Varshit from VIT, Gargi from MIT RC Alwar, and Akash from JCRC. Can I quickly have them on stage, please? Thank you. They are representing our very own LinuxWorld students. That's the representation. Come on, guys.
Good morning, everyone. Just before I just want to see this pic. Just have this pic in your mind for a few seconds. Just watch this carefully, okay? You can find some trees and buildings overall. Just have this in mind. Now next. Just remember this pic. This is our the main project which starts from here. Connected.
सॉरी हाँ लाइव यूट्यूब पे लाइव चल रहा है LinuxWorld हाँ चैनल पे क्लिक कर लो उसमें दिख जाएगा आपको नहीं नहीं, ये वाला नहीं, एक है कंटिन्यूस, हाँ सेकंड वाला। शो हो रहा है या ब्लैक स्क्रीन आ रही है? इसमें तो मतलब सिर्फ हाफ एन आवर का हुआ था, बाकी सारा पूरा ब्लैक स्क्रीन आ गया। Battery is about to die.
Well, for that, it was just problem. Now next, a cloud-based e-learning system. Why we have choose this topic only? Because my first topic was cloud that I have studied. Before coming to my topic, I want to change the way of the education system because what we are studying and what we have studied, I want to change fully the way we want to learn or the future optimistic view. These are all the overlaid content, what we have planned, that how we are building something, what we are going to achieve, and what will be our outcome and all. Then what we have planned. We have 4 different plans. First of all, in the audience, can I have some boys who always bunks the class? Nice guys. I have also something for you. That is plan number 3. My plan number 4 is for removing paper because we are here only for building our lifestyles. We want money to build something, to have something in my life. But anyone here who seriously saves our mother earth, thinks about her, that we are cutting down trees day by day and we are just not thinking about it. So my first plan is that for only. My second plan is to overcome that plan. We have built a tablet which would remove the cost of paper, which would remove every burden from your back, and it would take everything back from you, and you will have only a single tablet with all the services installed in it. Then third plan is for the teachers part. It would be a great benefit for the teachers, and I can say students आपको तो पसंद नहीं आएगा अगर आप बंक करोगे तो पकड़े जाओगे बट ये टीचर्स के लिए बहुत ही बेस्ट पार्ट है मेरा प्लान नंबर 3 एंड प्लान 4 आई हैव डिजाइन लाइक अगर आप 10th 12th पास करते हो आपको कोई रिलेटिव्स आके बोलता है कि आप इस कॉलेज में चले जाओ ये ब्रांच ले लो आपको ये कैंपस है ये कंपनी फोर्थ ईयर में आके आपको पता चलता है कि जो मैंने पढ़ा है अभी कोई काम का नहीं मिल रही है ना कंपनी बट फिर भी मैं 11th 12th पास आउट होने के बाद मेरे इतने अच्छे मार्क्स थे फिर भी मैं कुछ नहीं कर पाया प्लान नंबर 4 हमारा उसी कुछ है बेसिस पे हमने एक वेबसाइट डिजाइन किया है जिसमें हम क्या कर रहे हैं कि प्रीवियस डेटा रिकॉर्ड्स प्रीवियस कॉलेजेस के स्टूडेंट्स के लिए हमने वो कहाँ प्लेस्ड है वो किस पोजीशन पे हैं उनके कितने मार्क्स थे पर सेमेस्टर उन्हें हमने ट्रेन किया ओवरऑल एक न्यूली स्टूडेंट जो जस्ट जेई का मार्क्स जेई पेपर देकर आता है जेई के मार्क्स डालता है 10th 12th के मार्क्स डालता है उसको उसके स्टेट के वाइज उसे कंपनी उसे कॉलेजेस प्रोवाइड करते हैं टॉप 10 कॉलेजेस With top 10 colleges, they provide the top 10 branch also, which you want to go, and with that, they also provide the companies, which the company you will get, and how will you go for the future. Means just like I want to show you how to overcome all the things that अरे पापा ने मुझे ये बोला था इसलिए मैंने सिविल ले लिया मैकेनिकल ले लिया मुझे गवर्नमेंट जॉब मिल जाएंगे बट ऐसा है कि अब मेरी वेबसाइट भी अगर आपको कुछ बता रही है कुछ ट्रेन करके तो आप मैच कर सकते हो कि किस तरीके में मुझे जाना है नेक्स्ट व्हाट वे द प्रॉब्लम्स वी आर फेसिंग दैट विल बी टोल्ड बाय द पर्सन
थैंक यू बेसिकली जो हमारी प्रॉब्लम रिसेंट टाइम्स में जी है हम टेक्नोलॉजी वर्क ईयर्स है मेन फोकस पॉइंट अगर हम कंप्यूटर साइंस के स्टूडेंट्स हैं तो हमारा मेन फोकस टेक्नोलॉजी पे होनी चाहिए तो हम इतना फोकस है टेक्नोलॉजी पे हम कुछ एनवायरनमेंट्स को बेसिकली हमारा जो प्रोडक्ट है जो हमारे स्टार्टअप्स हो सकता है तो हमने इस इंग्लिश को वर्कआउट किया है जो हमने फील्ड वर्क किया है बेसिकली जो हमने फील्ड वर्क किया है उससे हमें मालूम पड़ा है कि पूरे वर्ल्ड में जितनी भी टीम्स करते हैं वो 28% भी अवेलेबल है और 50,000 पेजेस हर एक पर्सन यूज कर रहा है 58,000 और अगर मैं स्टेट लेवल की बात करूं हर एक स्टेट अप्रोक्सीमेटली 65 लाख पेजेस यूज करता है 15 और स्टेट्स को कमेंट कर दूं मैं तो अप्रोक्सीमेटली 15,000 ट्रीज डेली कट रहे हैं और इस चीज से हमारे ग्लोबल वार्मिंग एनवायरनमेंट में बहुत इफेक्ट हो रहा है तो उस चीज को रिमूव करने के लिए हमने इस पे वर्क किया है आप देख सकते हो और हम इस पे क्या कर सकते हैं तो हमने इस पे कंसेप्ट प्लान किया जो बताया था प्लान 2 में वो प्लान 2 है कंसेप्ट टैबलेट का टैबलेट कैसे हेल्प कर रहा है बग को रिमूव कर रहा है हेल्प कर रहा है जिसको हम बेसिकली एज से लेकर ग्रेजुएशन तक अप्रोक्सीमेटली 60,000 रुपीस खर्च कर देते हैं एजुकेट तो उस चीज को रिमूव करने के लिए हमने ये चीज हेल्प की है और उसमें लैब्स कॉर्ड जो भी रिक्वायरमेंट्स हैं ड्यूरिंग क्लासेस वो सब अवेलेबल होंगे इन फॉर्म ऑफ डिफरेंट सर्विसेज उस सर्विस को एक्सप्लेन करेंगे थैंक यू
थैंक्स फॉर सर Now this was our tablet concept. I will briefly summarize what is this. What we have done, आपके पास जस्ट अभी वर्षित ने बताया कि अगर आप क्लास 8 से बीटेक तक अगर आप कॉस्ट पता करें कि आपने कितने आइटम्स अपने पेपर्स एंड पेन्स में वेस्ट किए हैं तो ऑन एन एवरेज 60,000 to 70,000 रुपीज आपके सिर्फ पेपर्स बुक्स और पेन्स खरीदने में चले जाते हैं उस चीज को हटाने के लिए हमने क्या किया एक टैबलेट कंसेप्ट बिल्ड किया है कि आपके पास एक सिंगल टैबलेट रहेगा उसमें आपके पास अनलॉकिंग फीचर्स एंड ऑल सब रहेंगे उसमें हमने डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ सर्विसेज इंस्टॉल कर दिए हैं जो फर्स्ट सर्विस हमारा SaaS सॉफ्टवेयर एज सर्विस हमने डिफरेंट टाइप सॉफ्टवेयर प्रोवाइड किए हैं जो हमें चाहिए डेली बेसिस के लिए वर्ड पेंट एंड ऑल वो उसे रखेगा यूज करेगा देन प्लेटफॉर्म एज सर्विस कंटेनर्स डॉकर्स का यूज किया हमने बहुत अच्छे तरीके से डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ लैंग्वेजेस चाहिए रहते हैं आप हमेशा लॉगिन करोगे नेट पे जाओगे इससे अच्छा हमने हर एक कंटेनर के अंदर हर एक लैंग्वेजेस को बिल्ड कर दिया है जो आपको लैंग्वेज चाहिए तुरंत वो कंटेनर बिल्डअप होता है वो आपके बैकग्राउंड में रन होगा और आप उसे यूज कर सकते हो कंटेनर सर्विस सिंपली आपको कंटेनर प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं उसके अंदर कुछ ऐप चाहिए वो ऐप उसी के अंदर बिल्ड होते हैं फायरफॉक्स चाहिए आप तो सिर्फ कंटेनर लॉन्च करके छोड़ देते हो बट उस कंटेनर के अंदर उसका कुछ यूज तो करो तो उसके अंदर हमने किसी में फायरफॉक्स एप्लीकेशंस डाल रखे हैं वो यूज होता है सिंपली